Hi, hello, and welcome back. This is Jack No K, Jack in the Attic. Today we're talking about yarn crawl, everyone's favorite time of year. This is actually only my second yarn crawl, but last year I went hard. This year I knew I needed to go in with a little bit of strategy. I needed to pace myself. Basically, I learned some lessons from last year. I did want to document my yarn crawl this year just for funsies, and because I'm already filming videos, why not? I did end up going to one shop alone and the other four with my partner Denny, who you will see in this video. Hello to Denny who is watching this. Hello to Denny's friends who do not know I make videos about yarn. Welcome. So I am currently living in a post-yarn crawl world. Yarn is crawled. It is done. I am here only to film the intro and outro. Perfect Beautiful Sweet Denny filmed so much B-roll for me inside the stores. One of us is comfortable talking to strangers and asking, like, hey, can I film in here? Is that cool? And is everyone happy with that? And the other one of us had to figure that out later. So I do feel bad that I have basically no footage inside Yarn Social and then so much inside the other four stores. Yarn Social deserved better from me, but it is a small store. There were a lot of people in it. I really intentionally did not want to film other people. I was just getting some like displays, the yarns available, things like that. I did not want to film anyone without their permission, nor did I want to ask every individual person, hey, can I film you? That just seems weird. So thank you, Denny, for kicking all of that off. It kind of took this video in a different direction. There is going to be a lot of footage of the inside of the stores, so this should be mostly a quiet, relaxing video, and then me talking also. Throughout this video, you will see me wearing my finally finished partition pullover by James N. Watts. I talked about this in my last two videos, I believe, because I have worked on it for so long. I will talk about the actual process and finishing this in my next video when we do kind of a catch up on everything I've been working on. You will also see me wearing this cat hat by Ugly Babies, Ugly with an I. Um, Once again, I will talk about the actual making of this in my next video, catch up on what I've been doing, but I did want to credit these creators now while they are present in the video. So let's get started. I will show the stores we visited in the order we visited. Let's get to our first store and I will meet you back at the end of this video. Yarn crawl, day one, Thursday. I'm wearing my partition pullover in celebration. It's a gorgeous 90-degree Kansas City day. I'm sitting in my car, so I'm gonna get this over with as quickly as I can. I just happened to be in the area of Yarn Social today. I'm gonna head over there now and confront my fear of filming in public, maybe. Whatever. You'll see whatever I get. Okay, I'm back. I am trying to catch the last, moments of natural light because God forbid I turn on an overhead light. I won't do it if I don't have to. So I figured I would go over my purchases at each store rather than doing an entire end of yarn crawl haul because honestly I don't want to face that all at once. I'm afraid of what I'm going to do this weekend. I don't need to be confronted with that so directly. So first of all, Yarn Social, I ended up taking exactly one clip. It's this. All right. Oh, we are losing the light. Let's talk about yarn. I went in with a list I had specific projects that I am actually looking for yarn for those projects. Otherwise, I fear what I would do. So I did knock 2 off my list already. I think I have 6 or 7 on my list. It was initially going to be just 5, one for each store, but it kept growing. What am I gonna do about that, you know? I will do a follow-up like yarn crawl debrief separate video where I go into more detail about these projects. So don't worry, that is coming. I'm just gonna give like sort of a brief overview after I visit each store. So here's what I picked up at Yarn Social. This first one is Malabrigo Rios. And this lovely, it's dark blue, some gray, some brown, a tiny bit of green-ish in there. I'll put in some extra footage of this in the daylight because it really deserves it. That I am using for a hard hat liner for a friend who's an ironworker. I just thought it would be nice and fun, and I found a pattern for one and thought, oh, cool. We'll go over the pattern more in the next video. Oh, and this is a worsted weight yarn. The next yarn is Treasure Goddess yarn. Treasured Yak Toes sock yarn. I have never used yak. I hope I'm not allergic to it, but I don't think. Yaks are sheep, so they shouldn't have lanolin. 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. I'm using these for some fingerless mitts for my mother. I hope she likes yak. The colorway is Blood Rubies. Anyway, it's very soft, very lovely. I'm looking forward to using this. It seems kind of delightful. Maybe yak is the way to go. I don't know. Can't wait to find out. And that's all I bought at Yarn Social. I have so much self-control, or I'm pacing myself. I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of Yarn Crawl. Just kidding. I'm not going anywhere today. It's Friday. I am working. The stores are only open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I work 8 to 5. So I'm just hanging out with the cat. Okay. Okay, cool. Dressed, packed, ready. My hair actually looks nice today. It would be a shame if I immediately got overstimulated and had to put it up because the feeling of my hair touching my own body is not something I can handle. Denny's here.
Oh.
We're in Leavenworth. We're going to Momo's Knitting Nook, the new location. I've never been there.
It's worth leavening here.
Okay. Filming the wrong thing. Vlogging.
Vlog champ. Vloggers.
What is vlog champ?
It's an oblique reference to an emote on Twitch.
Oh, okay. We are in Lawrence. Why are we in Lawrence?
To celebrate the memory of John Brown.
That's right.
Original crazy white boy.
And here's a clean one. We're here. We're in Lawrence. We're going to the yarn barn. It's 100 goddamn million degrees.
Yeah, it's 100 and fuck outside.
And that's Yarn Crawl Day 2. We went to Momo's Knitting Nook and the Yarn Barn. We being me and Denny, who you saw earlier. What I got today was yarn, but it is also this tiny little Mothman. I don't know what's more important, the yarn or the tiny little Mothman. The first stop was Momo's Knitting Nook. I picked up 2 skeins of, or 2 hanks of Cascade Hampton. It's 70% Pima cotton, 30% linen in Denny's favorite colors. This is going to be a tank top for Denny. Tank top in Denny's colors, cotton and linen. We're heading into the wrong season for it, but I don't think Denny's favorite colors are going to change. So, or the love of tank tops. 2 hanks of, it's more Cascade Heritage. It's superwash merino and nylon. It's like a sock yarn. But superwash and very soft, so I won't have allergy issues or texture issues. I am a big fan of this yarn suddenly. I've used Heritage Wave before and really enjoyed that. So got 2 of these. And to hold with it, I got 2 Malabrigo lace in the color Diana. But I'm planning on holding these together, and these are for a vest. I think it'll look neat, maybe a little bit like oil slick vibes. I have a tank top in a similar type of colorway. I won't say the actual colorways are all that similar, but the vibes are similar. From Goosey something. I remember the name of the colorway was Hide and Seek. I'll put a picture in if I can. Anyway, got 2 of each of these to make a vest. At the Yarn Barn, I did pick up 3 big skeins of a bulky, kind of standard black yarn. It's more Cascade. I'm just buying a lot of Cascade. It's Cascade Sarasota Chunky in black, solid black. 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. This is for a friend's Christmas gift. When I go into details, I'll put a spoiler for her so she doesn't watch it, but right now, I'm just saying it's for a friend's Christmas gift. In my last video, we talked about the Hilya dress and my debacle. I'm having trouble with finding something to replace the recommended yarn if I can't use the recommended yarn. As we know, I have a weird wool allergy. It presents in the form of like hay fever type symptoms when I inhale fluffy fibers. It is not a skin reaction in any way. It is like straight up allergies. I have been told that this, even though it is not superwash, because I haven't had a reaction to superwash wool, don't know why. This is not superwash, but I have been told that it's not fluffy, fibers don't go flying. It's 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton. It's a Holstgarn Coast. I picked up one teeny tiny little cake of it to see if I can tolerate it before I buy an entire dress quantity of this, which would be a cone. The cones are actually pretty reasonably priced though, so I'm kind of hoping this does work out. I know I said I had a goal for this year to knit one singular thing out of the yarn that the pattern recommends, because I never do that. So fingers crossed for this. If I can't tolerate this yarn, maybe I can tolerate working up this little cake into a gift for someone else. So those are my purchases today. Tomorrow I will be going to Knit You Together and Unwind Fiber Arts. So I will see you tomorrow. We're here. It's Yarn Crawl, day 4, the final day.
Day 4.
It just rained a tiny bit.
Well, water came out of the tree that's above us.
A tree rained a tiny bit.
Yeah. You are shockingly pale.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
This is how we show affection to each other.
I'm gonna cut all of this out.
Good.
We're here at Knit You Together in Excelsior Springs. This is our 4th stop, or Denny's 3rd stop, my 4th stop, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So we're heading in.
Yeah, it took 4 days to go to 4 places because it's a crawl, not a sprint.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Some people are sprinting this.
They're fools.
I cannot. Maybe they know something I don't know.
Doubtful.
Skeleton time? Oh my god. There's so much. Skeleton, 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 skeleton. We are back home from day 4, and that is yarn crawled. So today we visited Knit U, EWE, together in Excelsior Springs and Unwind Fiber Arts in Lee Summit. I picked up a couple of things in each store. The first was Knit You Together in Excelsior Springs. My yarn is still wrapped in paper with a cute little sticker. Is that extremely loud? I don't know. I'll unwrap this. So the theme of this yarn crawl was really, can I tolerate this wool? And this is no exception. This is I never know if it's Barocco or Barocco. It must be Barocco because there's only one C. I got the Barocco Vintage DK. I am looking for a DK sweater yarn. I still have that pesky little possible wool allergy. This is only 40% wool, so I picked up one hank. I'm going to try it, see if I get any reaction. I have to be off my allergy medications this week anyway for allergy testing, so it's either a really good or a really bad week to be doing all these tests. I don't know. I will likely put it off until I am back on a steady stream of Zyrtec. The second thing I got from Knit You Together, they always have the cutest minis, and I can never help myself, so I did buy a little neon green. This is by New Garden Yarns, this neon green mini in the color Wildflower. Did I even check to see if this was superwash? It is. It is superwash merino. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but the allure of minis gets me once a year at one particular store, and this is just evidence of that. And Denny, my perfect, beautiful camera person, bought a little bar of soap. I will not unwrap that. It's just not my business. Okay, next we stopped at Unwind Fiber Arts in Lee Summit. And this was the first time I ever understood that we could actually park in the back parking lot. For some reason, I thought that was off limits. It's not. Made things way easier this time. I picked up one yarn and quite a bit of it at Unwind. That store is large, and the selection is large, and it is a little overwhelming, but it's fun. The way the store is set up into a bunch of different zones, it's a lot of fun to walk through. I spend a lot of time in the store when I do visit, so I make that infrequent for my own sake. I picked up 7 of the, I've never had to say this out loud, the Sandnesgarn Lin. It's cotton, viscose, and linen, I believe. I'm saying that like I know it. It is. Okay, cool. Good guess, me. 53% cotton, 33% viscose, 14% linen. It feels very linen-y in a good way. I am a linen fan. I know not everyone is. I love the texture of linen. I am making a pair of pants. They're probably capri length. I got maybe a little bit under the recommended yardage for the pattern, but I am slightly shorter than average as well, so that should be fine. Once again, I will go over all of the patterns and all of the further details on what I purchased these yarns for in the next video, so that will be coming out next. So that was my 2024 Kansas City Yarn Crawl experience. I felt good about going in with a list of things I wanted to work on, a list of things to find specific yarns for. That was very helpful. I believe I am set for the next few months, other than the 2 yarns that I purchased to test and see if my body tolerates them. If either or both of those do work out for me, then obviously I will have to purchase more of them. I'm not done purchasing yarn, obviously, but I am set for quite a while, hopefully the fall and through most of the winter as well. So my problem now is, what do I start first? Thank you for coming along on this experience with me. Thank you so much to Denny for doing some extra filming and for driving. Oh my god. So, Denny has a CDL and I have a phobia. Thank you, Denny, genuinely, for driving like 200 miles. Obviously, thank you to all the participating yarn stores. This is something I was really looking forward to both this year and last year, and obviously in future years I will look forward to this again. I have like some of the greatest experiences with people who work at and own yarn stores. They're always just so nice and want to talk about yarn, which is exactly what I want to talk about. So overall, had a great time. I'm doing a very Midwestern type of video ending here. I'm like, wow, thanks for coming. I'm going to stand in the doorway and talk to you for another 15 minutes. And now it is fully nighttime, and I have to go. Thanks for hanging out with me while I ramble about yarn. I will see you next time.